Across Stampers. I'm Cheryl Hamilton, and today I want to show you some cards that we made in the January card layout class. Now we start with a card layout, and this one has two squares and a rectangle there, and just something added in the middle. And this one uses a new ice cream designer series paper that's really cute. And the second one is the same layout, but looks totally different. And this is some pretty designer series paper you can get free with Celebration right now. The last card I'll be showing, or actually I'll be doing this first, is the strawberries. This also is some free designer series paper you can get during Celebration. And I use the strawberry builder punch, and I'm gonna start by showing you how to use this builder punch and not waste a bunch of paper when you punch it out. So stay tuned. I want to start by showing you how to use the strawberry builder punch and not waste the paper around here. So I grabbed a piece of scrap paper and I'm just going to punch it out to see where to position everything. Okay, and so there I've got kind of a template to show me where to position my stamps. So this is a great way, really useful way to use your Stamparatus. Let me see, I'm using the stamp set called Sweet Strawberry, and first I'm gonna stamp the background images of the strawberry and a leaf. So I'll put this one down, my template, and so that I know where to put the other ones. I just need like a marker. I'll use this. I'm gonna pick a corner over here and mark it so that I know where I'm gonna place the corner of my paper when I'm stamping. So I'm gonna put it there. Now I'm using two magnets with this, which I'm reluctant to do, especially in classes. You have to be really careful. If you get them very close to each other, they'll just smack into each other. They're really hard to get apart and they might break. So just be careful with these. They're so strong. So to figure out where to put it, I've got the plain strawberry that I will position right in that hole. Okay, and then I've got the leaf. The little stem. Oh, don't move them. This one moved a little. There you go. Okay, so I'm not using the flower right now, this other one. So I'm going to pick them up by just putting my plate down and pressing on them, and then they stick to it. And I'm going to lift it up really slowly so that it doesn't, doesn't move the paper. The paper's still in the same position. Kind of. Let me see. I think it's good. Let me stamp those and then I'll do position the other ones. So I'm stamping. Hang on. Okay, found my ink pads. So I'm gonna stamp the strawberry in Poppy Parade, and this is a challenge because I'm gonna use a big stamp pad because I don't have any Poppy Parade spots. So I'm just trying to get that and not the leaf. I think I got it. I don't know for sure. The leaves I'm gonna do in Granny Apple Green. It's so much easier with spots, but I think I might have done it. Let me move this so you can see it. And then I'm gonna put my, oops, wrong thing, sorry. This one is the template. So I'm just gonna put a square right here so it stamps where I want it. And and down it goes. So I just press on all three of these, and if it doesn't quite work like you want, you can add a little bit more. So let me see if I can get more. Gee, it's hard to get the end of that. So then for the outlines or all the little details, I'm gonna place it right on top where I want it. There you go. Little leaf. And strawberry. I think that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to pick these up with the other side, a plate on the side of my Stamparatus. Lift it up slowly, and again, it kind of moved a little bit. And then I'm inking these guys up with a little bit darker inks, and I'm using spots, which I got with my paper pumpkin kit, and they're a lot easier to use with the Stamparatus. I don't think you guys can see. Here, let me move over. There I am. Put this under so you can see better. Cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. And then I'm going to move this one over and go straight on top. Okay, so see, isn't that cool? It does a really nice image, and it's perfectly on top of each other. And watch when I do the punch. So I think maybe my paper's too big. You slide it in so you can see what you're doing, but see how it won't quite move down. I'm just gonna have to cut off the bottom of it to help it so it'll go down a little further into my punch. Okay, so you slide it in from the top and find the position where you think everything looks really good. Okay, and then punch. So it cuts them all out, and I didn't really waste much paper. I have an extra flower. So that's how you do it with all the builder punches. To put my card together, I'm starting with Poppy Parade, and I've cut it, I remember, 8.5 by 5.5 and scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and fold that and set it aside. And then I need 2 pieces because I want a piece of white on the inside. So for the, might as well do the inside first. That's easy. I really like this image, just some leaves and stuff. I'm stamping it in Granny Apple Green, and in the corner, and I'm going to do the same thing on my envelope. And let me see my set. I'm going to do Wishing You the Very Best. There you go. And for the outside, I'm doing Happy Birthday, You Sweet Thing and Poppy Parade. It's just challenging to get it straight. That looks good. And then I'm going to choose 3 pieces of designer series paper. Here's the strawberry, leaves, and a check, like that. I'm just gluing those down with Tombow. Let me start with this rectangle. Okay, put it on the front. So I really like this layout because it's a good way to use up some of your Designer Series paper scraps. And it's so pretty on the front and back, and then just add some little thing you punched out here. With this one, this is kind of funny. At class this morning, thank you, Barb. Notice the way I was putting my stem on. I still think that looks fine, but Barb pointed out to me that they're kind of supposed to go like that. So I'm like, oh yeah, the stems, they're sticking up on that paper. So I sort of think either way is fine. Gluing that down, and I'm just gluing this leaf to it. You could also pop it up if you wanted. And this one I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. Grab some. Okay, that's a fun little card. For my second card, I'm using the ice cream suite. It's in the new mini catalog that's on page 48 and 49, and I really thought it was really cute. The Designer Series paper has a bunch of ice cream cones and popsicles, and it's really pretty colors. And then this stamp set, Sweet Ice Cream, goes along with it. And the best thing is it has a punch too, an ice cream cone builder punch. And I haven't used it yet, but I will. I'll use it a lot. Okay, so I made 2 cards with this. The first was a Valentine, You Melt My Heart. And the second was, I just put Treat Yourself, and thought that this would be good for a birthday or something. And the inside is Happy Birthday. And that's from that same ice cream stamp set, and it's really a pretty font. Really like it. So I'll just show you how to put this together. I have my thick Whisper White card base, and I cut So Saffron 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And so I glued these on already just to speed it up. So for the hearts, these 2 hearts, I've used the heart punch pack. So these coordinate with each other, and I've cut out a So Saffron, and I have a Whisper White one. And so I'm gonna just stamp Treat Yourself with Blackberry Bliss on the heart. I think I'll move it to the side a little bit like this. Okay, and there, I'm just gluing it onto the So Saffron, and Let me do the Whisper White first. Just a second. I'm gonna put this here. Oh yeah, I don't want to do this yet because I'm gonna have a popsicle and I want to put a couple of drips. So let me not glue that down yet. Here, I have a piece of Whisper White scratch paper and I'm just gonna stamp the popsicle on this. I'll start by doing the top in Bermuda Bay. So that's the one with the curve on the top. Okay, and then there's another one. It looks like it has a bite out of it, but on the bottom, that's the bottom of your popsicle. And I'm gonna do it in Blackberry Bliss, but it's really dark if you do that. So I'm gonna stamp off first and then just kind of line up the sides. So there you go. So there's my popsicle, and then it has a popsicle stick. It's pretty cute. So it has one that's just plain, and I'm gonna do it with Sahara sand because that's really light. And then it's got little squiggles on this one. So I'm gonna stamp it in Crumb Cake, which is just a little bit darker. Okay, so there's my popsicle, and I'm gonna fussy cut it out. So I'm done fussy cutting my popsicle out, and I wanna pop it up with some dimensionals. I put a couple on here, but I'm gonna, for the stick, I'm gonna cut out a real skinny one and stick it on there. So don't throw away the outside of your dimensionals. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Okay. So I want to just line up where I think this is going to go. I'm going to put it sideways like that. Okay, and then I want to, before I put this down, I want to do the drip. And if the heart was popped up, it would get in the way. So I'm dripping with Blackberry Bliss. So when you stamp, leave it on the paper for like 2 seconds so that the paper has a chance to soak in all the ink. And don't rock it back and forth very much. There's lots of tricks to getting it right. Now, this one, I'm gonna pop up my heart. Let's run out of dimensionals at the most important time. On it. Okay, I'll just cut some off. Okay, there you go. Isn't that cute? Treat yourself. I need a happy birthday in here, I think. Yay. Whenever I have a bigger stamp like that, and it's long, I don't just place it down, but I put my finger in the middle and press, you know, so that the whole thing, I make sure I'm pressing evenly over the whole thing. Okay, I couldn't let it go until I did a little Winkostella on the popsicle, and I did some around the white part of the heart. And I don't think you can see it, but it's there and it's really pretty. For my last card, I'm basing it on some Designer Series paper that's in the Celebration catalog. So you just open up the cover and you'll see this beautiful paper called Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. Again, you can get this free with any $50 purchase. And so that's where I've started. And because I decided to use a blue layer here, I'm gonna emboss it. So one thing I discovered right away was I usually use my embossing buddy on before I emboss, but if you use it on dark papers, like this one is, I think it's Night of Navy, then it's gonna leave the powder on there and you can't really brush it off. So I'm just trying not to touch it too much. So I'm gonna do Thank You. That's from, I can't remember where it's from. I will put it in the video. I think it's the ice cream stamp because it had some really pretty fonts on that. Okay, so here you can see I stamped a thank you. I'm gonna grab my white embossing powder on the gun. See, there you can see it starting to change. And when it's done embossing, it looks really shiny. So I love that. I'm gonna glue these Designer Series papers on. I like this blue one. I haven't used that side. Doing that. Glue it on the white. This is Thick Whisper White cardstock. And then I punched out flowers. This is Rococo Rose. I punched out 2 medium daisies. And for the bottom, the base of it is, I used soft, what's it called? Yeah, Seaside Spray. It's an in color, and punched it with Perennial Flower. So I'm just gonna use some glue dots and put the 2 flowers together. And one more to put it on the blue. And you can kind of curve them up a little bit if you want. And one-dimensional for the back. There you go. And I think the fun part is I'm still using some of these gorgeous blue adhesive back gems. So I'm just going to use one in the middle of that, but you could also group a lot more like this one. Okay, that's it. I hope you have fun and maybe try out this card layout. Okay, bye-bye.